the decision and the point scoring, Jason?
No, I'm happy to that the fight. It was a good fight. I felt that I did win, put on the pressure and landed some big shots. We knew coming into the fight he was going to be awkward, and his movement was going to be good. So we both put up a great fight, but I felt I won, and I'm happy that they gave it away.
What about the 118, 110 scores? Do you think they were a bit out with?
It's not my job to what the judges do, but I felt it was a close fight, but I felt I came out on top.
The Fury said you looked disappointed at the end, and they were celebrating. Does that paint a realistic picture?
I never celebrate before the results are called out. If you see all my fights, I just go in a relaxed fashion after the fight and wait for the judge and the ref to do their job.
They're shouting about corruption, and I believe his promoter said Fury's performance had shades of Muhammad Ali. I was just wondering what.
I mean, his promoter, his job is to promote, and they got judges who do the judging for the fights and the ref to control the fight. So, I mean, anyone can complain as much as they want, but I think everyone's got to leave everyone else's job to them.
Did Hughie actually hurt you?
I don't know. Hughie didn't hurt me. I know, like I said, he was weird and awkward and different. His movement was good, so I give him credit there. But he didn't have power, and that's why you could see that I was just chasing him for 12 rounds. But
do you think you nailed him at all?
I feel like I got some good shots, and then I felt like there was a few stages where he was a bit dazed, but he did well to recover and to keep moving.
You said you came to the UK for the big fights. Who do you want next? Is it Joshua? Is it the winner of Hay Value too?
I want anyone and everyone. Whoever's keen to fight, I want to fight anyone. But just got to take some time off now to relax with the family and chill. I said before I want to have a pizza and a burger. I think I deserve it.
Joseph, you said possibly about maybe basing yourself in the UK for a little bit of time just to try and get those fights.
Yeah, we got a great setup in Vegas that we're happy with in terms of training. New Zealand's where I live when I'm off training, but I think I wanted to base myself here in terms of fighting more here, because the heavyweight scene's here and it's booming at the moment. So I want to be a part of it, and I want to have the big fights that are here.
Have you spoken to Mark and Eddie Hearn much?
I haven't really spoken to Eddie Hearn. I leave that to my promoter to, that's his job to have these discussions and set up big fights. And going into each fight, I just focus on what my job is, and that's to train hard with Kev, get in great shape, and put on a good show.
You see Joshua selling out 80,000 tickets, though. That must be exciting to get in and being involved in a big fight like that.
It's very exciting, and I'm firstly excited to be here fighting Hughie and getting a victory. I think it's a good way to establish ourselves here in the UK, and then I'm looking forward to having those big fights. Joshua, Bellew, David Hay, there's Dylan White calling out everyone each week. So.
Joshua said a few weeks ago in Cardiff that you and him were sure to face each other sooner rather than later. I mean, when would you say realistically might that happen?
When do you think?
Joshua, if it's going to sell 100,000, which it would, Unification, you want it in the English summer, and so probably July or something. I think it makes sense, so long as both guys keep winning mid-year next year. Eddie Hearn's reached out and put that on the table. He wants to unify, and so do we. Well, ideally, yeah, that would be great.
What path do
Wembley again, something like that.
What path do you see to that fight?
Well, I think we like to keep busy, and Joe's been great with momentum, and this latest mandatory has used up a lot of time for us. We'd have liked to fight a little more often. So we have a will to fight before the end of the year, if possible, and there are some good options.
Domestic options, British options?
The British option's a bit tied up at the moment, but as an example, no Japanese heavyweight has ever fought for the world title in Japan. There's an option there. We have a promotional partner, Bob Arum, United States. We could look at that. We could look at going home to New Zealand or Samoa. So as a team, we get together and weigh up what's the best thing for Joseph Parker, and hopefully we get a fight out at the end of the year. Then we could look at the winner of Hay Bellew maybe, and then maybe look at Joshua. But if Tyson Fury makes a comeback, and Eddie Hearn doesn't give us a fair deal, we could be at Old Trafford against Tyson Fury.
Where do you see your level, Joseph, relative to the other champions, the Wilders and the Joshua? Is there anything that you think you do better or you would have to improve?
I feel like every champion has his weaknesses and his strengths, and I feel that I'm the best. So they see themselves as the best. I see myself as the best. There's only one way to find out who's the best, and that's to get together and do something.
Would you look better against one of those than you would? I mean, Hughie was obviously very evasive, trying to run a little bit.
I think boxing styles make fights, so different styles make different fights, and I might be better with one style, I might be not as good as with one style. So there's only one way to find out. Like I said, just to make it happen.
Who would suit you best, do you think, as an opponent to bring the best out in you?
I think fighting top quality opponents bring the best out of me, so whoever's the best, I want to fight them.
Do you think there's any hope of, Hughie's talking about appealing, I mean, that's not something you'd want to go back on, I take it, that fight there?
Well, let's see what happens. I thought I won convincingly. I thought, I put pressure on and caught him with some big shots, so again, it's not my job. We'll leave that to them and see what happens.
Was his jab ever in range? Because it seems
no, it was very soft and just like pitter patter, but he used it good to move around and avoid some big shots coming his way.
Peter said that Kevin came to him after the fight and said it was a robbery.
Who said that?
Peter Fury.
Peter spoke to me in the ring.
Yeah, came to him, Kevin said it was a robbery.
I know, I said to Peter, I said the 118-110 was a little large for me.
Right.
And I said it was a really good fight. And he said, hey, I'm pleased you came here to the UK and you got a fair go. And I said, yes, we thank you very much for that. And he said, let's have a beer later. And I said, okay.
So you said a little large.
Look, let's remember, the guy we just fought is the most awkward heavyweight in the world at the moment. And there is no way that we would have ever taken this fight if it wasn't a mandatory. Simple as that. This is a style that does not suit Joe. I said that months and months ago. There is no way we'd fight Hughie. That's why the guy's undefeated. That's why a lot of guys avoid him, because he's bloody awkward.
As a promoter, Hughie, he makes anyone look bad, so it makes the promoter's job easier, because people like Bellew will underestimate Joe and go, oh, I'm going to take Joe's belt, and then Joe will knock him out, or whatever. In a way, it makes the job easier, because Joe could go in with another guy, even say a Joshua, who's made for his style, and it could be very different.
We've always liked guys that come forward to Joe, that come on to them. We've always struggled. Joe's particular style is not good against somebody who's going to run and move, and that's why I never liked this fight. But I tell you what you can't do is you can't win the world heavyweight title by going backwards for 12 rounds and landing a handful of punches.
Yeah. You said you see weaknesses in every fighter. What weaknesses would you see in someone like Joshua?
I'll show you when I fight him.
Would you be able to give us a hint in advance?
I feel I have better movement, and I feel he's got good power, and he's a good champion. But I feel like if I fight him, I can bring out the weaknesses that he has.
One thing is for sure, we won't have to go looking for him. He's going to be right there in our face.
So, what was your strategy tonight against Hughie? I mean, how did you?
I wanted Joe to work the double jab a lot more.
Right.
We actually spent the whole training camp throwing thousands of body shots, where Joe sort of went a wee bit away from that. I think Joe actually got a little reckless in the early rounds. He realised as soon as he got out there that Hughie never had the power to get his respect. Hughie was never going to be able to hurt him, and because of that, Joe was a little reckless at times.
Got caught with a couple of counters off the ropes.
Yeah, Hughie's a smart kid. He's a very good boxer, and his time will come again. At the age of 23, and Joe's only 25. Hughie will fight for the title again, no doubt about it. I pity the guy that fights against him, because it's a horrible style.
Yeah, it's not a ticket sale.
Thank you very much.